This is episode 42 of the CLG Faithful podcast. We're here to do one thing and one thing only.
Our intent is to provide our listeners with a sense of pride and accomplishment for every 40 messages or tweets sent to us. We selected the initial tweet amount based on viewership data from the single-digit episode numbers and other adjustments. We have made various adjustments, such the inclusion of retweeting what you sent to us and liking your post on Facebook.
Do you even have a Facebook account?
Yes. Alternatively, you can just send us a reoccurring donation of $80 and we'll send you a picture of Hotshot.
Alright. This is episode 42. This is episode 42 of the CSG Faithful podcast. I'm your host, Nefarious. You know my co-host, Artron. And at least we're not EA.
At least we're not EA. At least.
Alright. We go over all things CLG this week, and that's probably about as much fun as we're going to have this week.
Yeah.
It was bad.
It was pretty awful.
On the plus side, though, Aframu was voted into the NA All-Star team.
I mean, did anyone not see that coming? I mean, it's Aframu. Like, honestly, anyone else in the support role, pretty much.
No one else really has that kind of level of popularity, which
I'm actually kind of surprised that. I guess it's because of Hanser. Hanser and Bjergsen are on TSM, so they can only get 2 in. Haha, fuck you, Double Lift.
Yeah, honestly, if it comes down to actual skill display during a split or something, I think a lot of people might say that based on what we saw for the split, you would probably pick someone like Ole or whatever, but no one else has that level of popularity.
Aframu just has the popularity. It's like people are going to click through and be like, oh, well, let's see who I like here. Yep. Oh, I can't have 3 people from my favorite team. All right, who's the next person you know? Aframu.
It's just a lot of popularity. I mean,
it's a big popularity contest.
And it's recency bias too, right? People are going to remember the Hanser 5-man ult.
Yep.
Bjergsen. Somehow High is ahead of Hootie.
Really? Yeah.
But popularity, right?
I think it's just popularity. High, everyone loves High because he looks like a 12-year-old boy. Easy
there, Kevin Spacey.
Hey, see, that's 2 good memes in a row. Should we just move on to?
Let's go over all of them. So it'll be Hanser, Mike Young, Bjergsen, Sneaky, and Aframu.
I'm actually kind of surprised about Sneaky, but at the same time, popularity. I mean, Sneaky had an all-right split. They did make it to Worlds.
Well, he did use his flash at Worlds, unlike Double Lift.
Flash. Yep, he did flash.
And that's all people. That's all people remember.
That's all people remember. Yep. At least XA doesn't flash forward.
No, but he does kill Galio.
Yes. He kills Galio really well. Doesn't matter how long it takes, though.
You know, I'm intentionally delaying the next part. Right?
I know. I sort of am too. But I mean, it's kind of like taking a Band-Aid off. The faster you take it off, the quicker you feel better.
All right, we're gonna move on to CS:GO, but I'm gonna preface it with this: our CS:GO team may kind of suck right now, but at least they're not EA.
Yeah, they're not 500,000 plus downvotes on a single comment.
It's glorious. All right.
It's glorious. I mean, it's like, what else can you expect when you botch a Star Wars game? Star Wars is the biggest franchise in history. Okay, so let's move on. So we've got quite a lot of CSGO, actually, this week. We've got CSGO Blue team, though, facing off first against Luminosity Gaming at the ECS Season 4. Map 1 was Inferno, actually. It's a really solid map by CLG. LG took the early part of the first half, but CLG responded in kind to bring the score to 6-9 in half. In the second half, though, CLG put on the chokehold and took the map 16-13. Yes, that's right. We won an Inferno map. Kusta and Ethan both pull out great numbers, going 14 and 9 on their plus-minus, respectively.
So going into map 2 on Train, this is pretty much the definition of what you would call an even game. It was, aside from the poor play by FNS and LG's PKO, everyone else played pretty well. Unfortunately for CLG, in the 30th round, their push was expected, and they got absolutely slaughtered and thus LG picks
awful.
up the win, 16-14.
It was just like, oh, they put a smoke out, and then LG's like, okay, and then just 3 AKs open fire, and you're like, oh, well, they're all dead. So we'll move on to match number 2, which was versus Optic Gaming at, again, the ECS Season 4. They played a lot of ECS this week. Map 1 was Train, and, well, the first half was just bad. 13-2. In the second half, though, CLG had some comeback on the T-sided Train, but Optic only needed to take 3 rounds to win, and they did end up getting them pretty quickly. CLG goes down map 1, 16-8.
All right, so go ahead, talk map 2.
Yeah, so map 2, Inferno. Oh, no. Things went as good as one would expect on Inferno, with the T side going in our favor slightly, 9-6. Come second half, though, well, we didn't let go and let them come back at all. CLG actually took an Inferno map quite convincingly, 16-7. Yeah, we dominated on an Inferno map.
I think CLG made a deal with the devil.
I think so.
We get to win some games on Inferno,
but we don't get to make playoffs.
Yeah.
That'll come up here in a moment.
Right, so moving on versus Renegades in ECS Season 4.
You missed one. We have Complexity.
Moving up against Renegades in ECS Season 4.
Ah, right. We'll just put it this way. I put the time in to write up something on this versus Complexity. This weekend, CLG legitimately only needed to win 1 map against either Complexity or Splice Gaming. In the EPL,
a map.
Just a map. They didn't have to win 2-0, or they just had to go 1-1 with 2 of the bottom teams of the EPL Season 6. Yep. They didn't win one against Complexity, so they.
All right. Well, yeah. All right. Let me actually talk Complexity.
Okay.
So map 1 was on Train, and we've been playing a lot of Train this week, and normally this is a very good map for CLG. Overall, it was actually a pretty good match by both teams, coming down to the 30th round. Now, unfortunately, Complexity gets the win, 16-14, with a commanding 12-3 second half after their devastating 4-11 first half. So when I say a good match, the scoreline looked good, but
it was basically
really
just
one
both
side slaughters
teams. Yeah,
the other.
Both teams played the advantage really well. It's just that CLG didn't play the advantage enough. Or didn't play to win. It felt like on the second half.
Yeah, and then in map 2, this was on Mirage, and Kusta and Ricky both played super well, going 1.44 and 1.28 respectively. Unfortunately, the rest of the team wasn't able to put up numbers anywhere quite near that, and the team fell to Complexity 16-10.
Yeah. So that moves on to Renegades at the ECS Season 4. So yes, that's different than the EPL. Map 1. I didn't actually put down what we played on. Ethan had some really great plays this series, getting quite a few multi-kills rounds. Unfortunately, though, this didn't play well for CLG, and they fell to Renegades 16-12. Map 2 was Cobble, but I don't think CLG actually showed up to play. Because we lost 16-3. So, yeah.
Then we moved on against Optic at the iBuyPower Masters Day 1. Map 1 was on Train, and man, it's just the story this week. Everything's going wrong. Optic is up 11-4 by the end of the first half, and actually CLG makes a pretty strong comeback at the second half, mounting off with Ricky getting a triple headshot in the pistol round. But ultimately, it's just too little too late, with Mixwell double entry frag to open up the match point in round 28.
Yeah, and so on the same day, we actually played in both iBuyPower and the EPL on the same day. So they were doing a LAN event in the morning. Then come the afternoon, they played against Splice. So this is the one where they literally had to take 1 map away from Splice. They had to get into playoffs. So map 1 was Train, and Splice took a really early lead on the T side, taking the first half 10-5. The second half was a different story, though. CLG came back as they usually do on Train, Unfortunately, they fail in the final rounds and lose to Splice 14-16.
Yeah.
Map 2 was Cash, and I as the tweet from, I believe it was FNS, came out, it was, I mean, I hate to say it, but Splice played as a team killer. We definitely needed some of that 10-hour energy, I think. Splice took this map 16-4. And so that basically meant that CLG misses playoffs at the EPL. When we started the week, I believe we were in 6th place, right in there, and all we needed to do to secure that one spot was take one map from Splice or one map from Complexity.
It gets worse. It gets worse. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about Misfits?
All right. So against Misfits, so that was their second attempt at the iBuyPower Masters Day 1. They needed to win this to keep going on. CLG put up a good fight in the first half, going 5-10. In the second half, though, they didn't really fare too well, taking the loss and knocked out of the tournament 7-16. Yeah.
So we went 0-4 that day.
Yeah. Yep.
0-4. And remember I said get worse?
Yep.
That's not what I was talking about. So CLG Green played. What is CLG Green? Well, CLG Green is just this haphazard team that they put together to play in the DreamHack Open Winter 2017 NA close qualifier. Why are these names so long?
They just have to toss in all the key words, you know?
All right. So CLG Green is 3 players from our academy team, Benita from the red team, and a random player.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first off is against Purge on Train, and they lose the first 3 rounds to Purge before things begin to click for the team as they proceed to nearly sweep the rest of the half, dropping only a single round. In the second half, CLG does drop several more rounds from there, but ultimately they're able to pick up a win pretty easily, 16-7.
Yeah, and to add insult to injury in what a truly pathetic turn of events, I guess you could say, CLG Green played Splice. They go 5-10 in the first half, but are able to turn around in the second half, going 11-13 to pick up the map win. On the second map, Terrain, they trade pretty evenly, eking out ahead 8-7 in the first half. The second half also remains competitive, but the team is able to pick the victory up 8-5 on the second half for a final score of 16-12. Yes, that is correct. A ragtag group of CLG members plus one rando beat Splice. We needed to take one map. From there, though, they move on to the quarterfinals against Ghost. Train starts off competitive once again, 7-8, CLG being ahead at half. Ghost then crumbles in the second half, picking up only 2 more rounds for CLG to take the game 1, 16-9. Cobblestone proves to be just as competitive in the first half with Ghost, this time taking the lead going into the first half 9-6. Unfortunately, the team seems to crumble and are unable to pick up a single round from there. Ghost takes Cobblestone 16-6. They hated. Yeah, go ahead.
We both said it. They hated Inferno's the last map.
It's the awful, awful map.
And you can tell that this is a CLG team, tried and true, because it goes exactly how you expect from Inferno. When I said they made a deal with the devil, I think they made it only for the blue team. So Ghost has a strong first half performance at 11-4, and after that, both of them pick up 5 in the second half, but doesn't matter because at that point, Ghost has enough round wins to move on, and CLG Green is knocked out of the qualifiers.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's a pretty respectable performance from our green team.
I mean, considering it's like 3 guys from our academy team, plus we have what is it?
Benita
from Red. So you've got people who they've definitely played with one another before, because there's no way that they
haven't scrimmed or mixed up or whatever.
Exactly, but at the same time, and then a rando. I don't know who the random extra person was, but yeah, kind of odd that they do that way. Oh, it was Odorous.
Yep.
Odorous was it? He actually played slightly better than DJ. He didn't do awful in their match against Ghost. Oh no, sorry, he did do awful. My bad. -11. Had 46 frags though. That's pretty solid for 3 rounds. Except for Rex from Ghost had 77 kills. Wow. All right, let's move on from there. So there was some talk about the CLG roster.
Stop trying to make yourself feel better. It's not gonna happen.
I'm trying. There's a little bit of talk on the subreddit about roster changes.
Roster swap mentions on the CLG sub?
Yeah. However, we did get an official post from Ryu, which was kind of nice to have gotten there. I mean, it didn't really tell us much. He basically just went on to state how, the team felt like crap after losing to Splice, and they're, more than ever motivated to get their ass back to work and focused on doing the things necessary to achieve good goals for 2018. But, he's talking about lots of rumors of addition, subtraction, and stuff like that, and he's not going to comment on any of that. So there's been nothing to confirm or deny any rumors that people have been spreading, unfortunately.
And I know a lot of people have mentioned that if there's going to be any sort of roster swaps, again, this is all speculation from the community, it most likely won't happen until after the major.
Yeah, so they are into, what is it, the something going on. What was it? I forget exactly what event's going on that they're going to, but
so I just know it's the major. But
there's a major coming up that CLG is invited to, and so hopefully something can come of that. I don't know. We shall see. We shall see.
Yep.
All right, so we got one more thing left to talk about, and that is Wii U. Now, Nakat has definitely left a void in our hearts, as Mr. Nefarious has written down there. I apologize for that awful pun. And so Void was actually at the iBuyPower Masters Showdown event. So he was also wherever the iBuyPower event was happening. I don't really know.
Is it online?
No, it was online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This one can't be online, but...
Yeah. So, in the Wii U singles, Void played up in his pools. He did pretty well. He had a DQ against Blizzara. Then against Nexus, he 2-0'd. He then 2-0'd Douglas. I'm assuming Douglas. Who knows how to pronounce some of these names. 2-0. He came up in his finals against Zenu Mario. 2-0'd him as well. In the winners' quarterfinals, Void faced off against Mr. Con. The Luigi icon is hilarious to look at. But Void said, I don't care, and beat him down 3-1. He then came up against MK Leo. The dirty Cloud freaking counterman is just so brutal right now. I kind of feel for Void because you can definitely tell he's a little frustrated with the current meta of Smash 4, especially in doubles. Like, I think he's just straight up refusing to play doubles right now because of the kind of crap meta. But the Cloud is definitely hurting his Sheik. Cloud MK Leo beats him 3-1. That knocks him into the losers quarterfinals, where he faces off against Mr. Larry Lur, who unfortunately does beat Void 3-2, meaning that Void is out, finishing tied for 5th place. Not a bad showing though. I mean, 5th place finish for Void is a good, solid finish. He made a good kind of push into the top 8 of the event. So that's nothing.
Getting knocked out by Larry Lur and MK Lee are pretty respectable people.
Yeah, very respectable players to come up against. So you can't complain about that at all.
By the way, it was in Santa Ana.
It was in Santa Ana. Okay, so it wasn't too bad of a drive for the boys. I imagine for the CSGO guys, they drove out to play a game, drove back to play an online, and then drove back later on to play yet another match.
I don't know. Maybe they were tethering their phones and playing.
They could have. That might have made up for why they lost a splice so easily.
And complexity.
Yeah, well, they played complexity a few days prior, so they would have been at home.
Wait, was it? I thought it was on the same day. It
No.
was all four.
No,
Or was it was the
no.
weekend?
That was kind of
Yeah.
over the weekend. Yep. Well, guys, I mean, that concludes CLG news. Unfortunately, nothing crazy positive aside from Void getting 5th place in a nice, good event. Yeah.
Just remember, they're not EA.
They're not EA. Yes, they are not. They are not EA. Let's see. What's it at now? It is at negative 549,000 points. Downvoted on Reddit. So it has gone up 11,000 downvotes since we started recording.
That was 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. And now it's negative 550,000. I mean, it has been gilded 52 times. That's retarded. Let's call it there before we start.
It's to prevent Reddit from actually deleting anything.
Yeah.
If they're making money off of it, they'll leave it alone.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are the CLG Faithful Podcast. We are a weekly podcast that goes over all things CLG. If you enjoy what we do, then please take a few moments to follow us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, or give us a ratings on iTunes or Google Play. We do love getting feedback, so please send us your thoughts over at clgfaithful@gmail.com. And I just give you guys a heads up, in like 2 weeks, we actually get some sweet League of Legends stuff, you know. What is it, December 1st or 2nd? We've got...
I forget when All-Stars is.
Yeah, let me see here. It's December 7th to 10th, so it's like 3.5 weeks away from now. But hey, some League of Legends, woo!
Oh yeah, it'll be on the new patch too, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to see how these guys play on live, on Tournament Realm, with the preseason patches.
Can't wait to watch bot lane get one shot by Sona and Karma. It's awful. It's actually awful.
Makes me want to actually play.
It's actually awful to play right. I was
really good at Sona.
So yesterday I played against an Ezreal Sona lane. And I was like, God damn it.
Yeah. All right, we should just
I hate this game.
We should just end this so it's like not just rambling at the very end. People probably love this.
I can rant for another 20 minutes.
No. Let's not do that.
I totally can do that.
All right, guys. This has been Artrin.
This is Nefarious. We're signing off.
Peace out.